Did you ever stay with a negative thought or a belief long enough that made you feel so mad, so enraged, so frustrated, angry, so resentful that you started getting ideas to do something problematic? Whether it's self-sabotaging, whether it's ruining your own life or ruining someone else's life, whether it's, starting a problem out of nowhere or just doing something bad to yourself or to someone else. Well, that is an inspired action. So, contrary to common belief, an inspired action could still be a bad one. An inspired action doesn't necessarily have to lead you to your dream reality. An inspired action could take you to a point in life which you don't want to be at, could create a phase in your life which you don't actually like, could open doors for you which you don't want opened. And if you act upon that inspired action, you would still be acting upon your intuition. You would still be following your intuition. So your intuition as well doesn't have to lead you to a place where you actually want to be, to your dream reality. Although it would be an intuitive action, an inspired action, because it's as if you are at the bottom of hell and you are expecting your intuition to lead you to creating something beautiful, to lead you to your dream reality while you're at the bottom of hell. But that's not how it works, because your intuition follows your alignment. And that's why it's important to understand how to quantum jump, how to quantum lead your life into a direction that you wish it to actually take. And I decided to start this video with a negative example because I felt that this is what most people would relate to. That's how you would actually understand an inspired action more than, if I had started it with a positive one. Especially if you are at a place where you don't want to be at very much at this point. You're at a point in your life where that does not really kindle gratitude and joy so effortlessly. That would be more relatable. You would see what an inspired action really is. And then if you act upon that inspired action, although it's a bad one, it's gonna create more problems for you, it would still be serving its purpose as an inspired action. And your intuition would be very much functional and serving its purpose, which is an inspired action is an action that gives you more of your current alignment, that takes you to your current vibration further and further. And what was your current vibration before you got that inspired action, before your intuition led you to do that problematic thing? It was rage, it was madness, it was frustration, it was resentment, it was discontent. And that's what awakened that inspired action. That vibration, that frequency you've been at long enough awakened that inspired action. And then if you do that inspired action, it's gonna create more and more of those emotions. It's gonna give you more and more of those thoughts simultaneously, those emotions. It's like you had a fight with someone, you had an argument with someone, and then you kept thinking about it and you kept feeling bad for yourself and you kept hating that person. You kept feeling that resentment towards life, towards that person, towards the whole scenario, that eventually you did something bad, you did something criminal, and then you were held accountable for it. And then you started, feeling once again bad and negative and angry and mad and frustrated and resentful. And you kickstarted a chain reaction that will keep going on forever until you change one thing in that equation, until you take out of that equation something, or you put something else, something of an opposite nature into that equation. You introduce something else in this whole equation. Unless you do that, that chain reaction will keep going on forever. And that's how you get more of what you are. People in life in general will keep getting more and more of what they are, of what they are aligned with, of what they resonate with, of what they are always engulfed by. And this is very similar actually to me creating those videos on a smaller scale perhaps. But if at some point in life I started giving more momentum to something else, to the opposite of what I'm doing with those videos, or with what my purpose is with those videos, and I started getting more engulfed by that thing, I started being more engulfed by worry and by fear or by pleasure of an opposite nature, I started getting bored, and I I started hating this, or I started getting bored of it because, it's not working out as I wanted to actually work out. It's not, feeling as good. And I start, pushing it away and, bury myself in something more entertaining or something more pleasurable, something more dopaminergic, and I start not caring about this. And then perhaps I find myself on a schedule to actually release a video or make a video, and I sit myself down. I cannot say anything. I don't even have a topic in my mind. I don't even find a topic. And if I have a topic, I don't have the right words to say for it, about it, because that partially has to be intuitive. It comes to me intuitive on for the most part of what I say, and I don't find the right words for it, and I don't really, things doesn't flow through me, in contrast to if I had been giving it love, if I have been aligning with myself with it, if I've been seeing myself as that person who heals others, who enlightens others, who if in contrast, if I've been feeling so grateful for what I'm doing, for having the opportunity to do this, for having the opportunity to share it with you all, if I've been feeling like this, topics come to me so effortlessly, ideas flow through me so effortlessly. Whatever I have to say, it is said in the most right way. It comes out the best way it could ever be. If I, keep focusing on it, and I keep loving it, and I keep feeling grateful for it, and I keep giving it, sharing with it good energy, positive energy, and I see myself through it, and I see myself, I identify with it, I identify with it, and then it becomes more easier. And that is the difference between an inspired action and a forced action. Because although when I'm not, and when I'm engulfed by something else, I could force my way through a video. I could, find the words. Eventually, I could start thinking about a moment back in my life in which, I had things flowing through me. I had the right words. I had the right topics flowing through me, and I remember them, and I go through by critical thinking, and I logic my way through it, and eventually I will have the right words to say. But that's forced. It's not as easy. It does not feel as easy. I don't go into that action feeling calm or free or easy, but rather it has to be forced, and it's forced, and it's forced, and it's matter creating matter. And that's what I've always been saying in my previous videos, about, I've made many videos about inspired action versus forced action, conscious living versus an unintentional one, and an effortless effort, about effortless effort. I've made several videos about that, which is where you open yourself and let things come to you intuitively and inspiringly, and you do them with ease. You go into them with ease. You find the right things to do with ease. You have this calmness around you, about you, when you're doing that thing. That is an inspired action. You could still do something negative, something bad, with this ease, with this calmness, and that's what we were just talking about. That's when you were at a negative frequency, a low frequency, long enough, when you were aligned with that thing that you don't want, when you were aligned with that negative thing, with that bad thing long enough, that's when something bad could come to you with so much calmness and ease and freedom, and you would be acting upon your intuition, because it would be an inspired action. But the thing is, a forced action wouldn't come out the same. No matter how much I think about it, and I logic my way through it, and I critical think the whole thing, it doesn't come out the same. It doesn't feel the same. It's not the right words. It's not what I want it to be, and it does not reach most of you. And everything is problematic around it. Everything is not so easy about it, but it's more of a struggle. And that's the difference between an inspired action and a forced action. It's gonna be more of a struggle. It's gonna be, it's as if it's the difference between you forcing your way, punching your way through a brick wall, versus you actually creating a door through that wall and walking through it. And you create that door with energy. It's an energetic door. You can create an energetic door through whatever wall is on your way, if you aligned with what's beyond that wall. You will simply create that door. And that's how you quantum leap into whatever direction you wish your life to take. That's how, and it all starts with a thought. It all starts with a belief. which eventually dictate your emotion, dictate your feelings throughout a day, throughout a week, throughout a month, throughout a year. It starts with a thought, with a belief. If you believe in something really deep, long enough, if you feel inspired, if you think about something and give it good energy long enough, you will eventually align with it, because you will keep feeling good, you will keep feeling grateful for it, you will keep, seeing yourself through it and getting excited for it and loving life for it. And then you align with the specific thing, you match that frequency, and you raise your frequency in general. The more you raise your frequency, regardless of whatever you're trying to create, regardless of, having a specific point in mind to actually get to, just focus on feeling the good things. Because an inspired action, we just defined it earlier, it's an action that comes to you that is about to lead you to more and more of your current alignment, to more and more of your current frequency. And if your current frequency is all about gratitude, is all about bliss and joy and grace and love, whatever inspired action that's going to come to you, whatever kind of physicality or material life it's leading you to, it will regardless give you those emotions which you have been aligned with, because it's all about emotions. Everything you're seeking in life, you are seeking the emotion of that thing is going to give you. You want to feel the goodness of being financially abundant. You want to feel the bliss of true unconditional love. You want to feel the joy of freedom, of true, real freedom. And so it's all about emotions. And if you align with that set of emotions, whatever action you're going to feel inspired, that's going to come to you with ease, that's going to feel very calm to actually perform the action, that said action, it's going to lead you to such emotions. And so start with a thought, with a belief. Let it be on the positive side. Let it be of a high frequency, whatever it is, whether it's specific or not. Like I said, it doesn't really matter all that much. Yes, if you want to be specific, make it specific. I don't see the difference all that much. But it starts with a belief, and maintain it. Eventually you're going to awaken the feelings. Just like I am with those videos. If I think about how good it is, me sharing with all of you all of this, and how amazing it would be for me, to continue doing this, how purposeful it feels, how much of a help, how it could be to many people, it is to many people, and how amazing, how much I would enjoy the freedom of, doing this for a living, how much, all of that. And I start really connecting to it emotionally, focus on maintaining an emotional connection with whatever feels good. And then, I make videos so effortlessly, and they come to me just like that, and I could make, 2 or 3 videos in one sitting, and I have all of those things, all of those words I want to share, all of those ideas I want to share. And I get, even more, deeper and more profound, and with the thoughts, with the creations, with whatever. And I build on my ideas, and I build for the future, and I have more plans for the future. And when I'm not, and when I start getting bored or resentful or mad about it, or how it's not working out, or how much of a effort it is, or how it's becoming chores, or this or that, or how, people are not reacting and it's not helping that many people, and it's not worth my time, or it's this or that, I stop. I completely get blocked. But when you connect emotionally to this goodness of life, you're gonna start getting an inspired action. The actions that are gonna come to you, that's quantum leaping. You are quantum leaping into this frequency, to that frequency, and you can quantum leap all over the place. You can overcome this, and you could go from being at this point of low frequency to that point of, in a parallel dimension, in a parallel reality, or in a different dimension, whatever it is. You are doing an energetic leap, in other words, and that energetic leap is on a different frequency, and then you are matching that frequency, and you're aligning with what's beyond that wall of that frequency, and now you're in a perfect match. You are in harmony with that thing. and you get that inspired action. Sometimes it even happens without an action, but sometimes you'll have that inspired action and you'll just take it. It's gonna feel easy, it's gonna feel relaxed, and when you do it, it's gonna work like knife through a butter. It's gonna just work out. It's like you're just walking through another door. You don't have to hit your way through a brick wall. You don't have to break your way through a brick wall. You don't have to force yourself through anything or anyone or any dimension. It will just open for you with that little thing you have to do, with that inspired action you got when you were at that specific frequency. And sometimes you're in between. You're hanging on and nothing really feels that good. You are in between this. You are sometimes feeling good. You're a little bit more towards the good, towards what you want, towards the emotions you want to actually have and feel more of, versus the ones that you don't want. You're leaning more towards the goodness, and so you will sometimes get negative ideas to do bad things. Your intuition is gonna perhaps, be a little bit connected to something you don't want to actually do, and it's not gonna feel easy. And even when you get an idea, an inspired action towards the goodness, towards the good vibes, towards the higher frequency emotions, it's still not gonna feel as easy, because you're in between, the tug of war I often speak about. And that's how basically you create anything in life. That's basically why you feel towards an action like this or like that, or very excited, or midway, or very frustrated about it, and you don't want to take it. It's so much of a burden, so much of chores. That's how everything is working out. It's about what energy you're aligned with, what frequency you are putting yourself at long enough. What is that you are giving more momentum to in your life? What you want or what you don't want? That's how it's all determined. That's how your actions are determined. And that is how easy quantum leaping is, because now that you understand, an inspired action could be towards the negative when you feel so enraged so long enough and you hate and you get an inspired action. Now do the opposite. Feel good enough and you'll start feeling. But it's not going to be comfortable at first, because when you're trying, if you've been, your life has been not going as you wish it to be for long enough, and you've been aligning with the negative long enough, with your madness, with the rage, with the frustration, with the resentment, with the spite for life long enough, and now you're trying to stop that, stop feeling all of that all of a sudden, and you're trying to align, it's gonna feel bad. You're gonna feel as if you are suffocating. You're gonna have a heavy breath. You're gonna feel bad. It's gonna feel hard to push yourself out that door, to push yourself out that negative emotional bubble you've been connected to for so long. And your body is gonna feel some sort of withdrawal symptoms, actually. Until you get yourself back to that moment. Try it, and you're gonna keep feeling bad. You're gonna feel so anxious, so worried, so fearful, and so almost sometimes you're gonna feel depressed, and you're gonna be in those blues, out of nowhere, without knowing, without a reason. You're gonna feel empty. And then try and giving it some of what you've been used to, some of that negative, some of that rage, some of that low frequency, whatever it is for you, low frequency emotions. Give it. Indulge in something that makes you feel that way. Get mad, start a drama, start a problem, and you're gonna feel relaxed once again. Your body will be functioning normally, because that's the normal for it. That's what has been normal for it for years upon years upon years. But when you maintain that good vibes, when you maintain a high frequency emotion long enough, just pass through that discomfort, go through it, and hold the stance. Say that this is what you want to identify with, and you're not gonna stand up for meditation unless you feel something good. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 10 times, 100 times, you're gonna align eventually, and you're gonna open those doors so effortlessly, and you would have quantum leaped into a frequency you actually want to be at, you actually want to experience more and more of, and you wouldn't have to take another forced action towards whatever you're struggling to have in your material life. It's all gonna come to you so effortlessly and so easily and so calm. and so beautifully and so gracefully, and you're gonna have it with so much ease. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to another video by AF's Conscious Frequency. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it helps me so much, and it helps this video find its way to many more others who might actually need it.